Today we're going in a slightly different direction because I am fired up. Okay, so there has, how do I say this? Within the book community, there's always been dramas, right? And I mean, the thing that I'm about to talk about has happened many a time before and will likely happen again after this. But I think what's really annoyed me is the kind of response to it, to be honest. So I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about Ali Rose Co., who I'm going to get to. I wanted to talk about the trademark and how I don't think that's the real issue here. I think the real issue and the reason people are getting so fired up is because there's a much bigger thing that we're not really addressing. And to be honest, I don't know how we fix it. So, let me firstly introduce you to the players. And the first is a small business called Ali Rose Co. Now, Ali Rose Co. started in 2020. Kind of started making stickers, bookmarks, etc. at her home, like her childhood home in lockdown, right? Like a lot of small bookish businesses did at the time. Okay, this is a huge thing that started before COVID, but it really became popular during COVID, was this kind of bookish business. And she went viral on TikTok demonstrating how to make the stickers that she was making and kind of showing other people how to do it, which is, normal. And as a result of that, she opens up a shop and that becomes Ali Rose Creations. And she really starts to gain traction 3 years later in 2023. And we're going to talk more about that later because I think that is quite central to the kind of controversy that has kind of started. The other player is the Book Girlies. Now, we are talking cross-platform. We are talking Instagram, TikTok, we're talking Threads, we're talking YouTube, I'm sure. So the Book Girlies typically, and I say girlies as I know it's not gender neutral, but in this case, I am meaning anyone in the book community. I just like to say girlies because it's fun. But the Book Girlies generally love supporting small businesses, right? We love it. I myself am a book girly. I love small businesses. I love the cute stickers. I love the cute bookmarks. I have about 10 Kindle inserts in my basket at the moment that I want to buy. And we love it. We just eat it up every single time. The thing book girlies don't tend to love is injustice, firstly. There's a lot of injustice. Part of the reason so many people read is to read about overcoming injustice in different forms as a form of escapism in our lives, right? Book girlies also hate plagiarism, which makes sense, right? There have been so many authors who have been called out for having very similar stories to other authors. Lauren Roberts, I am looking at you. But, it kind of leads to a certain situation in that if the book community kind of feels like there is an injustice or there is some plagiarism, what tends to happen is that there's a lot of moral posturing online and people kind of dogpiling on creators for it, which in some cases I really understand and in some cases I don't. And I think that is its own major issue within the book community, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but just know that before I lay out this situation, some of the things that people have been saying about Ali Rose are disgusting. Like, you can kind of come for her for what she has done and the implications of it for the community. Where I think it's a bridge too far is commenting personally on her looks, trying to dox her, etc., and sending death threats even. That is way too far, okay? So I just wanted to get that out of the way. My other slight disclaimer is that I am not American, okay? I have no idea really about American copyright law. Everything I have learned very recently. as a result of this and the Patagonia situation as well. But I think it's interesting. Okay, so my credentials are that I'm a book girly. Which brings us to the situation and scene. So Ali Rose Co., this small business that I've been talking about, posts on Instagram her big news, which is that she has registered a trademark for the use of the phrase "hot girls read." And she lists out what the trademark is for, which is pretty much any book merch that you can think of, it's covered. And the book girlies do not like this. So I will read out her statement because I think it's really interesting when we look at this. She makes an Instagram post kind of with some bookmarks in the background going like, yeah, I own the trademark, blah, blah, blah. Hot Girl Reads is officially mine. And then she posts this Instagram story. This is celebratory, of course. But I also want to, in brackets, very gently with peace and love, say that I officially have the trademark for Hot Girls Read in the following categories: bookmarks, stickers, notebook covers / book covers, notepads, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hooded sweatshirts. I've seen Hot Girl Reads on lots of items from other businesses that follow me, so if that is you, please remove those listings from your site as soon as possible. With love. And this does not go down well. So people take it as low-key a threat to small businesses. That bit at the end, take your listings down if you have Hot Girl Reads. And small businesses start to panic. They get really nervous, right? And the book girlies get mad. So for example, this author Eliana on Threads posts this on her threads and says, pulling all my Hot Girl Reads merch from my shop that has been up for years is making me sad, because there are people who have had this merch up for years with the phrase Hot Girl Reads or Hot Girls Read in even, and now they are being told that they have to pull it. And I think the thing that we need to remember is small businesses don't have a lot of money, right? So people are panicking. They're like, I can't afford to legally fight this. I'm just going to pull my merch. And this makes people very, very angry. I will include some screenshots. Pause to read them. So then Ali Rose posts another story. And on this, she says, I've seen and read a lot of people's anger about me trademarking Hot Girls Read, so I want to chat about it and clear some things up the best I can, which is admirable, right? Ultimately, I think if you're going to do something like this, you have to clarify and explain to the community why you've done this, and we'll get into that in a minute. I filed this trademark to protect my products from others copying it, which is common to do when selling products. She is right here, right? I was advised to trademark it when it initially started to gain traction from the bookmarks and sweatshirts in 2023. At that time, I didn't see anyone with apparel or bookmarks that said Hot Girls Read, although I'm not at all denying that they existed. So I think she makes an important distinction here. She's saying she personally didn't see any, which we'll get into in a bit because it's highly doubtable. But she does say that she doesn't deny that this existed, right? Which is very important, I feel. Since the trademark went through, I haven't come after any small businesses or bookstores that sell products saying Hot Girls Read, asking them to take anything down directly. I did post a story outlining the categories I have the trademark in, giving a heads up that those items are included, and I asked if you have those items in those categories to take them down from your site. There have been businesses that copied my work in its entirety, and the message was for them, although I see why it seemed like it came from a place of aggression or malice towards other small businesses that I was not referring to. My message wasn't clear, and I don't like the way it sounded. The goal is and was not meant to come after small businesses. I don't intend to do that whatsoever. This trademark was simply to protect myself. And I cannot emphasize enough how this does not go down well at all with the book community. So firstly, I see a few issues with this statement, and I'm not trying to dogpile on Ali Rose here. I'm just genuinely trying to kind of explain why people are so mad about this and point out a few of the issues within this. And the first is protecting products from copying. Now, people were pretty much immediately pointing out that there's a massive amount of hypocrisy in this, because Ali Rose Co., while trying to protect the phrase hot girls read, which firstly she did not come up with, was saying that this was to protect her products while at the same time selling unlicensed merch for lots and lots of different things. For example, we have unlicensed merch from the Eras tour from Taylor Swift, who does not play about copyright. We have unlicensed merch for Heated Rivalry. We have unlicensed merch for Sarah J. Maas, who again does not play when it comes to copyright. For Emily Henry, the list goes on. So people immediately jumped on this and were saying, hold on, if you're protecting yourself from copying, then why are you copying and profiting off of other people's work? Because that is hypocrisy. Now, Ali Rose Co. did take down all of her listings for pretty much all of her unlicensed merch. And I think currently they are still up on her TikTok shop. I've seen people saying that. I don't really go on TikTok shop, so I haven't looked. But that's what I've been seeing. Now, the issue with this, book girls love unlicensed merch, right? Ultimately, people don't care about it. I think people try and buy licensed merch when they can. Oftentimes, licensed merch is more expensive, rightly so. But people don't really care about buying unlicensed merch, right? This is not a big deal in the community. So many small businesses do it. You can't possibly come after all of them. When people do, they take it down. It's fine. The problem is that she spoke about copying and protecting herself through that. And people were like, this does not add up. When the majority of your sales are from things that are protected under copyright law, you can't then turn around and say, I'm protecting mine, and go after small businesses for doing it, which brings us to one of the other issues. She said that since filing the trademark, she hasn't come after small businesses, and this quickly started to blow up, right? And people found a message, like, I will clarify that I don't know that it's from her. We don't know. The name is similar. I think it's from like Allison or something. I'll post the screenshot. But a message allegedly from Ali Rose Co. immediately after publishing that first statement about owning the trademark comes to this small creator saying, you have Hot Girls Reads merch, please take it down. I now own the trademark. So people are like, you can't say that you didn't come after other small businesses when allegedly you have. So that's another issue. The other issue, and the biggest one I think, stems from this, that she didn't see products with Hot Girls Read on it from 2023, which is when she started using that. Now, I don't have to tell you the mass amount of evidence to the contrary. I've found products as far back as 2017 carrying the phrase Hot Girls Read. So this is not something new. It's not something that she was using. It dates back to 2017 before her business even started, if not further. Someone did a Google Analytics search onto the searches of Hot Girls Read, and they're as far back as 2010. So this isn't something that she created. We know this. The Black bookish community is also addressing the fact that Meg the Stallion, I think in 2019, kind of popularized the phrase hot girls or hot girl from her Hot Girl Summer. So that is also in consideration here. The phrase did massively spike in popularity from 2019. Now, Meg wasn't the first to come up with this. I think that also has to be addressed. We don't know who did, but the phrase hot girl X or hot X does Y has been around for ages, right? If we think about pretty much any viral trend at the moment, like hot girls drink matcha, hot girls do Pilates, you're gonna find it everywhere. So people were mad that she has trademarked this when her shop has not been in the community that long in bookish standards, and she didn't come up with it. So the next issue I want to talk about is the trademark being to protect herself. And I think this fundamentally is, again, hypocrisy, because she was using unlicensed merch and profiting off of the work of others, but also a fundamental misunderstanding of trademark law. Now, I am not claiming to be an expert on this, okay? I do not know the American system. I know it works slightly differently in the UK, although there is also a UK creator copywriting Good Girls Read. So again, another issue that has been brought up with this. But from what I understand, trademark law gives you the trademark for this thing, but that doesn't mean no one else can use it. It means that if they do, you have to fight every single one to avoid falling under, to avoid losing your trademark, which is what I think the eventual conclusion of this saga will be. And we've seen this recently with Patagonia and Patagonia, the drag queen, because Patagonia, the company, have sued her for $1 because they claim copyright infringement. And in order to do that, you have to put so many legal fees on the line, right? And it doesn't mean that people just can't use it anymore. If they have been using it since before you did that trademark, they have a legal right to continue because there is prior use. Now, the problem is, Ali Rose is a small business. She may have been trying to protect herself. I think it's admirable in a way that she was trying to protect herself, trying to protect her products. However, is she going to be able to afford to fight every single bookish business that has been using the phrase hot girls read, including massive companies like Barnes & Noble who have it on their bookmarks, and PopSocket? No. And trademark doesn't cover, if she's saying, in her statement, that she's not coming after small businesses that weren't directly copying her, then you can't trademark someone using hot girls read with the same background that you're using. You would have to do so many different trademark laws. So it's a huge misunderstanding, I think, and I feel bad for her. I think that maybe she was taken for a bit of a ride by a lawyer who saw it as an easy opportunity to get money. I don't know. But there is a bigger problem with this, and I think that is businesses copying her work, which leads us to a huge problem within the community about the commoditization of booktok. And I think this has become a problem, and I think it's the real problem with this. I don't think it's about Ali Rose. I don't think it's about the trademark. I think it's annoyed people, but I think there's a larger issue at play. And that is that since COVID, booktok has become so big that a lot of people want to profit off of it, right? For example, content creators. Me making this video is a way, I'm not monetized, so who knows? But I can't profit off of this. But creators online that can do, right? That's why when you start to get big in the booktok community, you keep at it. That's why authors are marketing specifically towards booktok. Publishers are forcing them to, because they know that it's like an infinite money glitch, right? People in the bookish community want to buy books. They want to buy bookish things. It's very easy to monetize. Which leads us to small business owners. Now, a lot of these people have a passion, a lot of these people have things they want to create, which is amazing, and I'm so glad for them. I do think that two things can be true. Some people can be very passionate about the bookish community and want to make things within it, and other people can jump on the bandwagon, see it as an easy way to get money, and start to profit off of it. Both of those things can be true, and they can coexist. The issue here is that realistically, there's only so much you can do when you do not own the work that you are profiting off of, right? I mean, the work we are profiting off of is these books. We wouldn't be able to make stickers, etc., if there wasn't the books to make them off of. If you go and search like ACOTAR stickers or Fourth Wing stickers or whatever, you're going to find a wealth of them. But a lot of them are unlicensed, and you are working off of that author's work. So there's only so much you can do before you have to kind of create your own thing. And that's where things like Hot Girls Read come in, because no one owns it, or at least they didn't until now. So everyone can make stuff like that and not have to worry about the licensing. But the other problem is that because BookTok has become so popular, the market has become so saturated with small businesses that a lot of these shops essentially sell the exact same thing, just in different fonts, in different backgrounds, and it's not exactly original. And that's the problem. There's not a lot of originality anymore within the bookish community, and that is where we're seeing this big issue, because Ali Rose wanted to copyright her ideas so that, you know, she would be able to be the one that people would go to for this, which in a way, fair enough. I mean, I'm not a small business owner, but I imagine it would be really frustrating if I saw people copying my designs all the time. The problem is that people are trying to promote themselves and gain money off of things that have been around for a long time, so no one specifically owns it. There have recently been a rise in like gingham backgrounds. Gingham is very in at the moment, so people are posting Hot Girls Read on gingham backgrounds. That's not original. Like, I hate to break it to you, it's not original. And we know this because it's a trending phrase and it's a trending background. About 10 bookish girlies across the world could have the same idea at the same time, start selling it. They're just in different fonts, just in different colours. Is that original enough to warrant a trademark? No. Just straight up no. People have been doing this for a long time, right? This isn't exactly a new thing, and it happens in many communities. One example I think of is the React brothers on YouTube, who used to have those like different React channels, like elders react, kids react, whatever. Now, they tried to trademark the term react for any YouTube video, and again, it did not go down well, because people were like, we've been reacting to stuff since the dawn of time, right? In the 1800s, you'd get a book and you'd be like, oh, my friend, you should read this book and talk to me about it. We love to see other people react to things. It's not new. Now, they lost pretty much all their social standing online because of it. Are we seeing similarities here yet? So I think the problem with entering a community or trying to profit off of an idea that has been around for much longer than you is that people know this. It's not going to be a popular decision. And that's why things have kind of kicked off. Now the real issue, is the commoditization of BookTok. The market has become so saturated, there's not a lot of originality within people's ideas, and generally people don't care, right? We're gonna buy stuff. The issue is when you try to own it. And I think that the real problem is that you can't. No one can own these things. No one can own, the phrase Hot Girls Read. No one can own like, I don't know, the phrase book girls, the phrase bookish, the phrase bookworm. This has been used so much. So I think ultimately what's going to happen is Ali Rose Co. will probably try and rebrand, try and come back with a sorry, an apology. She's more than likely going to lose the trademark because there is just such a wealth of people able to show that we have been using this before her shop existed. And I don't think she's going to have the money to fight them all. And the problem is you have to fight them all if you want to keep the trademark. So it's not going to happen. And especially when there are huge companies that are also involved in this. Now, the book girls are going to continue to be mad, and I don't think there's a solution to that. I think that we'll probably see the exact same thing, rinse and repeat, in a few years. Someone else will trademark something, people will get mad. I mean, we saw it with Cockygate. It's going to happen. But I think the real issue and the thing we need to start thinking of is how to bring back original ideas and how to kind of maybe make this community less profitable for people who are not part of it. And that's really hard to do. I don't think we can. But it's the real issue here. It's not this like trademark issue. It's just a subset of it. So yeah, I hope that kind of clarifies the situation. If you've been kind of hearing about this and not sure what it is, there are some really good links, and I think there's a Substack that I haven't read yet, but I really want to, by, I can't remember her name, but I will link it in the description. I think the issue is capitalism, always. And that is not going to go away anytime soon. We're going to see different iterations of this again and again, unless we figure out how to make the community not as profitable. But ultimately it will be, because people love stickers, people love bookmarks, people love books, people want to buy things that show their love of those. And it's me, I am people, right? But we're not going to be able to do that forever, I don't think. And I think small businesses are a really good thing. I think that I love supporting them, but their ideas aren't original. And I think we also need to understand that and take that in, because otherwise I think people can gain a complex that leads them to thinking that they are having this original idea when we are getting these ideas from books, we're getting these ideas from authors, who are getting those ideas from other authors before them. So it's hard and there's no solution, but I hope that that kind of explains what's been happening and helps you to understand it. So that's it for this video. I hope that that sheds some light on things, and I don't know, I enjoyed making this, I enjoyed researching this. If you want any more like this, let me know. If you have thoughts and opinions, please comment them below, because I think this situation is really interesting and has brought a lot of kind of anger. And while I don't necessarily agree with all of the anger, I really see where Ali is coming from, and I don't want to contribute to the dogpiling. I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in what she's done, but I understand why she did it to start with, and I genuinely don't think it was her intention to screw people over. I think she was fed up with people who were copying her, who probably were, right? We know this. We have people who are copying off of other people's Instagram posts, literally screenshotting and reposting them. This is not a new thing, but I understand why she did it. Do I agree with it? No. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.